Welcome back. Well, back to school is anything but normal this year, but there are some things that you can do to set your kids up for success. Joining me now is the Chief Academic Officer at Varsity Tutors. It's Brian Galvin. Good morning to you, Brian.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining me. So many kids are going to be starting remotely for their schooling this year. And I think parents and students want to know just some best practices that they can already have in place so that they can gear up for the new year. What suggestions do you have?
Sure. A big thing is think about what's missing when you move online as opposed to being in person. And just one of the biggest things is personal attention and interactivity. In a typical school day, you have so many little interactions with the teacher before class or with the look across the room or, see me after class and during lunch and those kinds of things. And that doesn't translate as well. So I think one thing parents should be looking to do is just make sure kids get that attention. It can be as simple as having them teach you something they learned over the dinner table so that they have a chance to kind of articulate it and get that feedback loop that learning is important. That's another reason that families are looking to things like tutors or pod learning so that, they can kind of outsource some of that attention. Somebody's paying attention to a student and giving them an opportunity to articulate what they're learning and what they may be struggling with.
That's a great point. And even just that interpersonal interaction that's so important as well. I wonder if remote learning and COVID-19 has had an effect on kids' readiness to actually go back to school.
It really has. You think of the summer slide, generally in 8 to 10 weeks off, kids regress a little bit on particularly math and reading. And it was a shakier spring for a lot of students and a longer summer. So we're certainly seeing, parents are concerned about grade level readiness and that's justified. It's important to know two things. One, all that COVID slide or summer slide is really just use it or lose it. If you're not using math and reading skills, they'll atrophy. And so for parents, it can be as simple as if a student really likes reading Harry Potter, you don't have to force them to read The Catcher in the Rye instead. Just the fact that they're reading something will exercise those skills. And then secondly, there are certain critical skills that are most important for next grade readiness. Nothing builds on the rhombus, but a lot of things build on a triangle or multiplication. And so diagnosing where in those critical skills your student needs to refresh to be ready to really attack the new school year is important. That's why at Varsity Tutors, our learning lab has free custom diagnostic tests with custom study plans to help you shore up those 5 or 6 skills that a kid needs to really succeed in the new school year.
That's great. And I'll give some info on how to find those in a minute too. But is there a trick to keeping kids engaged and motivated? Because that's half the battle sometimes.
That to me is the biggest question, and again, it comes down to think about what's missing when you go online. There are fewer things to look forward to. In a typical school day, you look forward to recess. You look forward to, time between classes, to lunch, where you get to goof off with your friends, kind of let your hair down and socialize. And when you're stuck at home, you don't have that. You also look forward to extracurricular activities and field trips and things. So, families just build some socialization into your day, get kids, friends together on speakerphone over lunch so they can look forward to that. And one thing we're doing at Varsity Tutors is celebrity-led kind of virtual field trips. We had Jay Williams from ESPN deliver a class on Tuesday about sports broadcasting. We've had astronauts and marine biologists. The idea kids need things to look forward to, and a lot of those have been missing when we move school online.
That's so cool. I love those ideas. Get creative with it. And I'm going to give all the information so people can find those free diagnostic tools and a lot of the stuff you offer. Thanks for joining us, Brian.
Oh, thanks again for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Here's the website so you can find out more. It's varsitytutors.com.